him, let me tell you how I met Jesus. My parents were divorced when I was a baby, so my mom and my maternal grandparents raised me, and they raised me in church. And I loved going to church as a little girl, but as I hit my preteen years, I didn't want to go anymore. I didn't think it was fun or interesting anymore, and I wasn't sure what I believed. And I would argue with my mom and make any excuse to get out of going to church. And I'm pretty stubborn, so most of the time I would win the argument. But little did I know, at the time, God was pursuing my heart and drawing me to himself. I had two significant experiences of him getting my attention. I grew up in Queens in New York City, and I was 11 years old when the 9/11 attacks happened in New York. And I attended the Christian school run by the church my family attended. And they had told us what had happened and shut down classes for the day. And we were all keeping up with the news and praying together while we waited for our parents to pick us up from school. And I went to the bathroom, and as I was leaving, I overheard one of my teachers talking to a classmate of mine. And my friend was scared because of everything that happened, and my teacher was comforting her, saying, it's okay, Jesus can protect us, but even if something does happen to us, we get to go home to heaven and be with Jesus. And I remember overhearing that and thinking, I don't have that confidence. I don't know that if I died today, that I'd go to heaven and be with Jesus. And that was the first time the concept of eternity and the fact that we could either spend that with or without Jesus really made sense to me. And it was a wake-up call because I understood and felt the seriousness of that reality in that moment, even though I was so young. So my curiosity was piqued, and I started paying more attention to my required Christian education classes in school from then on. So fast forward to about a year later, I was 12 at this point. My mom wanted me to go with her to a special evening service our church was having. And for whatever reason, I couldn't win the argument that day. So I went. As the service started and the worship leader started singing, I remember personally feeling the tangible presence of God for the first time. And it was like all of a sudden something clicked. God felt close to me. I knew he could see me and he loved me and wanted a relationship with me. And everything that I grew up hearing about Jesus in church was true. So I went willingly with my mom to church the next couple of weeks, and one day after church, I was hanging out by myself on my grandparents' balcony, which is classic introverted only child behavior. And I was just processing that experience at church and what had been happening in my heart the past few weeks. And I knew what to do because I had grown up in church. So I prayed on that balcony and I asked Jesus to be my savior and gave my life to him. And by his grace, I've been walking with him ever since. And he's changed my life. I love him. I know he loves me. He's my best friend. He's been there for me and walked with me through every high and low of life. He's given me purpose. And I just want to spend my life helping people get to know him so that he can change their lives too.